left here is the City Limits Brewery and Restaurant. It's got excellent food, a full menu. They brew their own beer, and they have a big screen TV. On the way up, I was telling you all about the fires. Well, this yellow building directly in front of us is the only surviving wooden building from those fires. Back in the day, the upstairs was a brothel. The downstairs was a wallpaper store. Today, it's home to the 6th Street Melodrama Live Theater.
And it's fun going to a venue.
Sorry?
It's fun to go there. Fun to go there.
Oh, yeah. You can go there and cheer on the heroes and boo the villains.
That's right. Even now with all the brothel guys.
Yeah. I know, they took away all the fun. Feds are no fun. Here on the corner is the Blackboard Cafe. They have good food there as well. On the left is the Oasis Bordello Museum. That's a real popular place our visitors like to go. And it kind of tells you the history of prostitution here in Wallace. They were actually very well accepted by the community because they actually supported the community by buying football uniforms and baseball uniforms and all that good stuff. We had 3 movies filmed here in Wallace. One was Dante's Peak with Pierce Brosnan. The other was Heaven's Gate with Chris Christopherson. And then we had a silent film that was filmed here in the 1920s. I don't know what the title was, though. I couldn't hear it. This is Shoshone County Courthouse. The concrete blocks that you see it made out of are actual mine tailings from all our local mines. So there's traces of silver and gold and lead and zinc and copper throughout its walls and floors. On the right is the Tin Snug Cafe. You can go there and get breakfast and lunch. We have Wallace Brewing Company on our left. For gifts, we have Johnson's Gems, Idaho Silver, and the Funky Monkey. And yes, we have it right here, folks, the center of the universe. People come from all over the world to lay down on the highway and have their pictures taken. It really annoys the locals.
Wasn't it a local that put it there?
Yes. That was Mayor Garritone. On the right is the Wallace District Mining Museum. It's full of artifacts from the early days of mining here in the Silver Valley. In 1892, we had what was called the Miners' War here. Miners felt their rights were being violated by the mine bosses and the mine owners, so there was an uprising. They took some dynamite and they blew up the Frisco mine. And they killed a few people. Well, the violence spread from there and it got worse. It got so bad they had to call in the National Guard to restore order. The National Guard got here and arrested 600 miners. They had to build a makeshift bullpen to put them all in. They kept them there for 4 months and then they let them loose. Guess that's how the unions must have got started. This down here is the residential district. This is where a lot of the mine owners, doctors, lawyers, business owners, they all live down here. Not me, I lived on the other side of town. Up here on your right is the Tabor House. It's one of the older houses here in Wallace. And it's an Airbnb. You can get all your buddies together and rent it out and have a good time. Be a good place to set up hunting camp. This house here right next door to it is the Alan May Hutton house. Alan May Hutton lived there in the late 1890s. And they invested $5,000 along with 5 of their friends from town. And they bought the Hercules mine. Well, they mined for about 10 years. And then one day, one of the guys threw his pick down on the ground and kicked up some white, ashy-looking like substance. They didn't know what it was, so they had it analyzed, and it came back as wire silver. They'd hit the mother lode of wire silver. So each of them profited about $2 million apiece from that little incident, which would be the equivalent to about $50 million in today's money. So they loaded up the truck, moved to Spokane. A lot of these houses you see are over 100 years old, like that white one down there on the corner. And then, of course, a lot of them were built after the 1910 fire. But the ones that survived the fire are now on the National Historic Registry of Historical Places. And as you can see, they're very well maintained and taken care of. I've been in almost every one of them, and they're absolutely beautiful inside. I used to trick or treat this side of town when I was a little boy because they had the best candy on this side of town. Down here on the left, the brick building, is the Bernard Stockbridge Photograph Studio Museum. They were famous photographers here in the inland Northwest around the turn of the century. And you can go there and check out their work and look at their photographs. We had a movie star born here in Wallace. Her name was Lana Turner. She performed at the Wallace Elks and at the Liberty Theater. She used to work at our local grocery store, and her job was to stock the shelves and sweep the floors. So while she worked, she would sing all day long. And that's how she was discovered, singing at work. So it just goes to show you, folks, don't ever stop singing, because you never know who's listening. Might wind up in Hollywood. Her uncle owned a little music shop that was right here on the corner where this little art gallery is. Where else can you go, folks, to see a white elk wearing a saddle standing in a store window? Only in Wallace. If it's weird, we got it here. Up here on the right is the Fainting Goat Restaurant. It's a popular place to eat. On the left is Muchachos Tacos, but it doesn't look like it's open. And we have Cog's Gastropub. You can go there and grab a sandwich and a cold beer, or 2, or 3, and then you can come out and lay in the street and annoy the locals. No, I might even join you. But everybody knows me here. They start yelling at me. Well, folks, that about does it for our tour for today. On behalf of the SierraMine Tour and the Wallace Chamber of Commerce, we want to thank you for coming to Wallace, taking time to go on tour with us today. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your stay here in Wallace, however long that may be. But most importantly of all, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to pull in here and then back up the trolley, so if everyone would remain seated, I'd appreciate it.